Well, originally, when I got off the air before our first semifinal, I said this game was starting at 11. They're going to keep things going just to 15 minutes, a little bit behind schedule. It is semifinal number 2 here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships. It features the Glace Bay Miners in the black jerseys taking on the Bedford Blues. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Hobson. Not much of a history between these teams. Second time that they've met this season, and both of them have been here at the championships. And yesterday, the Glace Bay Miners and the Bedford Blues tied at 4 apiece, so we should be in of a dandy. We had a dandy for semifinal number 1. The West Hants Warriors defeating the Tassa Ducks 3-2 as a result of a shootout. So if this game is any indication of if yesterday's game is any indication of what this game is going to be, we should be in for a dandy of a game, as Nicholas Elbert will be the starting goaltender there for the Bedford Blues, and Owen Bresson will be the starting goaltender there for the Miners. And Miners will start with Clark, Matheson, and St. Clair, the forward line. Perrier, Miller, and Millett, the forward line for them to get things going here on a Sunday morning here from the Halifax Forum. Glad you could join us where we're watching here on 360 Live. A fantastic weekend of hockey, and what a way to have it finish. Your first game goes into 2 overtime periods and then the shootout. And the West Hants Warriors now will have to sit back and wait the winner of this one as Mathers goes into his own zone. We're going to have possibility of 2 Mathers if the Blues win this championship. 2 Mathers. There's a Mathers on West Hants, and Mathers Spencer, his first name for the Bedford Blues. And of course, we have to get through the end of this one to see if that will be what happens, but it should be a good game. Here is McIntosh here. McIntosh stick check there by Bell. But McIntosh had 2 goals yesterday in the game against the Blues. So he's definitely going to be in the radar of the Bedford Blues, and they want to get a hand in his face. Number 10, Garrett McIntosh. Bedford Blues, Cole Chandler, number 8, had a couple of goals. He's out here now, along with Sangster and LeBlanc. Shots! It squeezed through. No! Getting a glove in behind was Bresson to stop that one. Just in the nick of time, he keeps it scoreless. Close call for the Miners, but it keeps it no score, as I mentioned here in the early stages here of the first period. So to assess the situation for the folks that may be just tuning in, who are Blues Miners fans, wondering why we're a little bit late. Of course, the previous game went into overtime as well as a shootout, so I'll go over that shootout and overtime format as a 5-minute 4-on-4 into a 5-minute 5-on-5 into a 5-minute 4-on-4, and if nothing's resolved then it goes to a shootout. So that's how this playoff format will go here for this semifinal number 2 if we get there. But it's a good possibility it is, because there is really not a lot separating these 2 teams. They are close pretty well in the goals for, goals against, a tie yesterday. So, it could be really a good, close, low-scoring game is what we could expect. Rachel Walsh, who got the call up, gets it up center ice there into the minor zone briefly. Perrier back in the lineup. Here's Miller now. Miller with some room. And getting a piece of it was Bresson. He didn't know about it as he was looking around. Puck was one way and he was looking behind him. But he got a piece of it. That's all that matters. Millett now. Oh, he loses it before he can get a shot. Nice stick there by the Miners, and great pressure here. Perrier can't reach that one and will go back down. Mathers in a foot race with St. Clair, and they will get the icing. And changes galore for both these teams on a frantic start here. Just past the 3-minute mark here, period number 1. Referee and the linesman get together briefly. I think they're going to say that It was accidentally icing, so blown down. So that's a lucky one. They'll drop it at center ice after a get together. And you can sort of see the reaction there from the minor players thinking, well, it shouldn't have been. And well, they pled their case and they drop it at center, but it's not stopping the Blues. Miller centering pass there to Millet through the blue ice and back out the other way. St. Clair trying to go wide on Mathers. Back to Cameron. Cameron holds the line. Down in the corner. Clark with a shot there from his opposite wing. He's at the end of his shift there. Goes well wide. McIntosh with the chip. McIntosh drop pass. St. Clair just outside the goal line area there as the Miners start to get a little bit of pressure here down in the blue zone. As we come up to the 4-minute mark here of period number 1, no score yet. Miners, Blues, and here's our first penalty of the game. Interference, the back official with the call, and it's going to go to O'Neill of the Miners. He's off for interference, so it will be the power play for the Bedford Blues. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura. 3:58 the time. Clean face-off win there by McIntosh, and he'll send it down, and his stick, the stick of Sangster is actually hooked up. The referee says, you better free your arm. Okay, I'll do it right now. But it really allowed, of course, the Blues player to be trapped inside the zone, so the Blues couldn't really get anything going in attack right now. They didn't have really much of a chance as McIntosh will backhand it in, and he's looking pretty good here so far in the early stages of this one. Minute 30 gone. Minute 30 left, left in the penalty here to O'Neill. And the Blues have iced the puck, even though they have the man advantage. No lineup changes as we are expecting here from both of these teams. They've coming in here relatively injury-free, so everybody's all hands on deck here for this one. Of course, Spencer Bond and Kanelikos have been scratches. They've been scratches pretty well since the entire championships. Amiro will be wearing number 18, and I believe he'll be in the lineup here for the Blues. So nothing really much in terms of changes, and it's everybody all hands on deck and no substitutions, no additions for the Glace Bay Miners. Nearing trying to get it out, and a second effort does. Out to center ice. 48 seconds remaining here in the power play as Miller gets going once again. Trying to hit Millet. They have been a dangerous line in the regular season as well as playoffs and here at the Provincials, and they continue to be pretty good. They put Perry in there, and it just seems like that's just a perfect match. Perry, of course, missed Thursday's game. And Bresson with the stop as he shows the glove. Bresson, of course, is impressing everybody with his play. His backup goaltender, Manny Strong, is really impressing the crowd with his antics. He's almost like Manny the Entertainer. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get a chance to see him dancing around, but he has always done it in all the games that have been here so far at the championships. He sits in the middle of the bench. He's pretty animated. Right now, he'll be watching this one as that one sails out the other side. 15 seconds remaining here in the Atlantic Acura power play for the Bedford Blues. Buffett puts it in the slot, cleared for the meantime, but not out. That goes by everybody. Mathers was thinking about joining it as O'Neill comes out of the box, and it's a 2-on-2 now. Clark has Pilling going towards the net. Rory Pilling had a goal versus the Blues in the 4-4 tie yesterday. As I said, second time these teams have met in the season, and it comes here at these championships, so there is still a little bit of an unknown factor. They did not face at the Buster Harvey as the Miners were not at the Buster Harvey tournament. Speaking of that Buster Harvey tournament, the Blues went 2 wins and 1 loss. A championship that was won by the Tassa Ducks, and they were kind of hoping to win the Provincials and go play in New Glasgow in a couple weekends from now. But the West Hants Warriors with the win now wait the winner of this one. It's in the blue ice and whacked there a couple of times by the Miners, but it sails to the back. Close call as we are even strength now as they come up to the 7-minute mark. Gone here in the first period. And the Miners starting to press. Bodies out front there. Matheson trying to come up with it. A backhander runs out of real estate. Albert has lost his stick as the puck comes to the blue line, and McIsaac can't keep it in. So that's offside. So delayed offside will allow the Blues to get something going here in transition. McIsaac there gets back, and there hounds the progress. Cathcart and O'Neill, a couple of teammates in the same place at the same time, near collision. And with one hand on his stick, Manning sends it in. Of course, Manning has family watching in Alberton, Prince Edward Island watching this one. A penalty coming up, so this will be our second penalty of the game. So we say hello to them, and thank you for reaching out on Twitter to me. McIsaac to the box. And the time of that one is 7:49. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura, second power play of the game. So I hope that Manning's family, as I said, watching back in Alberton, Prince Edward Island, a beautiful province. Had a chance to be there over the summertime. They had those Old Timers Baseball Championships, and I was in watching some of that, and it is a beautiful province, and I imagine sure the Manning family's beautiful people as well, as Bresson makes a stop, and he was just basically dancing along his goal line to do it. He was well deep, but it worked out for him that time. 28 seconds has expired in the penalty here to McIsaac. 6:49 remaining here in period number 1. Blues on the Atlantic Acura power play. McCarron with the wrist shot. And you can see sometimes maybe they're going to try to shoot it wide to try to take advantage of those boards. They have been lively, and it's caught goaltenders here. Some of them, of course, have never played in this building before. And others are now getting used to that building and trying to use it towards their advantage. And you see it in other hockey rinks as well, and teams shooting it wide to try to come up with a good chance there and get the goaltender moving and have pretty well an easy tap in for a goal. And you can see it has worked in these championships in the round robin portion. 49 seconds remains in the power play here for the Blues. LeBlanc and a blocker save by Bresson, and he just quickly reacted. I'm not sure if he saw the play developing in front of him, but with the last second gets the blocker up and steers it into the netting. And teams will make changes here with 41 seconds remaining in the McIsaac penalty. Here comes Clark now with the puck there, loses it as getting on his horse there was Cohen Miller, and he has been a two-headed monster here for this Bedford Blues, and I mean that in the nicest way, is that he is solid defensively, and you can see he gets back on D quickly, and he's a solid offensive player, so he plays both ends of the ice and was part of the skills competition yesterday. Mathers up to Perrier. Threads the eye of the needle here to Miller, as I was talking about. Miller goes in as the penalty has expired. So 0 for 2 on the power play here for the Blues. If we still wait for our first goal between the Blues and the Miners, semifinal number 2 here at the Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships on 360 Live. with less than 5 minutes remaining here. To be exact, 4:50. How are y'all doing? My name is Dan Hobson. Delighted you could join us wherever you're watching here on 360 Live. Win, you get into the final. Lose, you go home. Nova Scotia has 2 teams that will represent them at the Atlantics in New Glasgow. One of them is Pictou, and right now 1 team is in the final. That's the West Hants Warriors, and the winner of this will take them on at 2:30. Quick turnarounds indeed. Jewett. There's a mural out there. Doesn't have a name on the back of his jersey, but he has contributed. And the Blues organization, I'm not sure if you guys are follow some social media. Some of you do, probably some of you don't. But for those that don't, the Blues Twitter was really appreciative of Rachel Walsh and a mural. And, of course, saying that hard work pays off, and now they get a chance to play here in these provincial championships. Bunn and Kanelakos out, and Amiro and Walsh in. And they are really contributed here in this team effort. Their head coach is Greg McDonald. And I had a chance to talk to him yesterday, and he says his team is relatively loose, and he's loose, and he's looks like he's like one of those old-time coaches. You see these days the puck pyramids for the players. He's just as basically a hard nose and pretty well straightforward, and a great sense of humor too, and a great personality. Just really well is like Oprah Winfrey handing out cars at the Oprah Winfrey show a few years ago. Just here's a puck for you, here's a puck for you. That's what he does for warm-up. No big fancy pyramids. They just come to work. The defending provincial champion Bedford Blues. O'Hanley trying to get something going here. Here's Matheson. He had a pretty good game yesterday. Having a pretty good championships as well as Matheson here for the Miners. Sent back in. 3 to go in this opening period. Gutwald there, fanned out, but it may work for the betterment of Clark. But he swung and missed mostly, and it's chipped out. And numbers the other way. 3-on-1, make it 3-on-2. Chandler shot, press on the save. Oh, off the post, Sangster. They had numbers going the other way, and they couldn't put it by. Chandler coming back again. A wrist shot, that's a bouncer. Loose rebound, Sangster bangs away. Referee lost sight of the puck, and that's the reason why play is stopped. And the Blues players a little bit frustrated with the whistle blowing, knowing that they may have had something cooking here for them. 2.5 remains, first period. Pair of 7s on the draw. O'Neill and Miller, and it will be it will be the Miners who come up with it. Buff the stuff, holding up Pilling, and the Miners fans thought there should have been a penalty. Nothing's coming. Thought there might have been some interference. Play continues on. Buff it there once again. Where's the nickname I've gave him? Buff the stuff. Kicks it here to the boards, and now up to his stick. Trying to put it through, and there's a big black wall denying that one there in the high slot area. Mathers in behind the goal. Perrier centering pass there to Millett. Millett trying to settle it down, and from his seat of his pants, Perrier trying to get a backhand goal. He was going down in the process. It looked pretty, but Pilling now making a nice move. Pilling going backhand, scores! Rory Pilling. $13:39 the time. Yesterday, Glace Bay drew first blood. McIntosh. Today, it's Pilling. 1-0. Miners lead the Blues. The defending champions trailing the Miners for the second time here at these championships. But it doesn't really seem to faze them. They just still keep on trying. Last minute of play here in period number 1. Amiro up there looking for the puck. Sends it back here. Manning keeping it in. Amiro. Also up there is Jewett and Emmanuel. Manning actually vacated the blue line, so puck will get out to center ice as Bell will send it in after the pass from Manning. And Amiro was late getting out as Jewett crossed the line. So they'll call the offside with 39 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Goals early were the story of the round robin portions of the championships. Goals late. Had a couple late goals in this first semi between the Warriors and the Ducks. There's a shot, scores! LeBlanc. He was given a gift. He was given a gift card thanks to the Miners, and he cashed it in. It's 1-1. As I like to say, nice pass, wrong team. .14:33 the time. So we're right back to where we started from. Maxine Nightingale 70s disco song. Right back to where we started from, 1-1. And they're coming again. Chandler of a shot and Sangster with a second chance opportunity, and that's stopped by Bresson. Puck's dropped, and this period will come to an end here. 1-1 the score. Pilling for Glace Bay, LeBlanc for the Blues. You're watching the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships here on 360 Live. Back after this. Second period back underway here at the Halifax Forum. It is a 1-1 draw right now after the opening period. Goals by Pilling there for Glace Bay and LeBlanc there for the Blues have us even, and that's where we stand here. Hi everybody, Dan Hobson, delighted to bring you this one. It is semi-final number 2 here on the docket. Winner goes to the final, will be played at 2:30 this afternoon here on 360 Live and at the Halifax Forum as McIntosh is pressing once again. He had a pretty good outing. Teams pretty well on paper looked relatively matched. 18-7-3, my apologies. Second place, Central Minor Hockey Federation, the Bedford Blues. and the Glace Bay Miners 25-0 as we have a penalty coming up. Early stages here of the second period. Cathcart going to the gate here for Glace Bay for the trip. 50 seconds here into the period. Time for another Atlantic Acura power play here for the Bedford Blues. And so far they're 0 for 2. 4 shots. They'll get another one here. And this power play possibly. Coming out of his own zone. Mathers back to Jewett. Emmanuel, Amiro, and Buffett here, the power play unit here for the Blues. 25 seconds gone, not a shot yet here. Mathers gets to the middle. Pass to there too far for Emmanuel. Gutwalt find the hole, actually hits a skate, and Hutchings will send it up and get it out the rest of the way. Hutchings, a penalty killer here for the Glace Bay Miners. Chandler can't handle it, that's too strong. Sangster, 1-on-3, now finally gets numbers, but it comes back outside the line. Chandler, Sangster, watched by Cameron for the blue ice out the other side. Puck down low in behind the icing line. Scrum breaks out. Blues come up with it. Here's McCarron. Chandler. And that's slapped away as Clark had his stick, and he was right there. Right place, right time. Wrap around, trying to come up front with Sangster. And Bresson shutting the door. Really not letting anything short side on him. McCarron, as that bounces over his stick. St. Clair looking for the loose puck there. Was up there momentarily, but not for long. 26 seconds remains in the Cathcart tripping penalty. Slapped down and out as McCarron can't hold it for the Blues. And both teams will make changes here in the final ticks left in the penalty here to Cathcart. 10 seconds remaining as we come up to the 3-minute mark here. Second period. Chandler can't knock it down, so this will do it here for the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Blues, and you'd be hard-pressed to look to see if they did get a shot. I think they did get one. Here's Miller now, wrist shot, and that was sailing over the goal. Miller's looking close, but it remains 1-1. Miners come back the other way. Pilling there, gets the center ice with no further, but Gutwall will follow it in, blows a tire, but they're going to bring it back as he was on his side of center when he shot it down, so icing will be the call. Hanrahan, Cameron, O'Coin, McIntosh, and Matheson out here for the Miners. Emmanuel, Amiro, Jewett, Buffett, and Mathers out here in this face-off in the Miners zone, and the Miners have it, and now they're coming, trying to get into the attacking zone. Amira will stop that. Jewett now, wrist shot, hits a body. Cameron uses his size to knock that down. One of the taller centers here at these championships. Hanrahan now trying to crisscross with Matheson, but that doesn't come to fruition. They had the play set up, poked back in, delayed offside. Now they're onside, ready to start the check, but the Blues get the center ice area, and they're led by Buffett. Buffett, pocket pick by McIntosh. Can he get going? He's trying to go through 2 white jerseys, and Perrier's stick is being held by the arm there of McIntosh, and trying to get it free, and finally does. We've seen that previously here already in this game. But only 3 penalties to boot. Even strength is where we are right now as we are coming up to the 4.5-minute mark. 1-1 the score. Saucer pass there, unable to knock down, but Millet will send it in towards the corner and keeps it inside the zone. Millet gets a pass, shot, scores! From in behind the net, Millet top shelf 2-1. Blues get their first lead of the hockey game. 4:29 the time. Now it's respond time here for the Miners. They struck quickly. Actually, the Blues took a timeout in yesterday's game, and they had to sort of do a little catch-up to come back. So this could be, what you say, the first time that the Blues have been ahead here in these times that these teams have met. So let's see how this mystery comes to be solved and how things come, and see how they develop the rest of the way, whatever term you want to use. McCarron will poke it back in. It goes into the Miners bench for the stoppage and play with 9:54 remaining here in the second period. O'Neill and Emmanuel. Linesman wanted the players to push back and does, and then drops the puck as that rolls in to Albert. That was from well distance, and not too many goals are going to go by any of the goaltenders these days from that far out. 2-on-1 developing. Amiro and Emmanuel. Amiro goes to the net, gets the puck from Emmanuel, but he blows the tire, can't get the shot. And quick transition here by the Miners. We've seen that a lot. O'Neill, but he has his pocket picked. Here comes Emmanuel. Good shift here from this Emmanuel, Amiro, and Jewett line. They're getting chances and they're working hard. And you know that the coach is going to reward them. Here's Pilling with the steal. Pilling on Walsh. Pilling goes towards the net, and Walsh defended it well, preventing that one. Made it hard for Pilling to get it, and it gets a rounding applause here from the faithful at the Halifax Forum as we go end to end on a Sunday morning from Halifax. 8:52 remaining here in the second period. Penalty coming up. It's going against the Miners. Shot. Bresson can't handle it, but Miners get possession, and that will stop the play. Body contact. And it's Gutwald. Miners having a little bit of difficulty staying out of the box. Their fourth penalty of the game. So far 0 for 3 are the Blues on the Atlantic Acura power play, and they're on another one. And I know that's probably what Brian O'Neill and the coaching staff are talking about right now, is that's 4 straight. When are they going to get one? Having a good long conversation. It's out of our camera view, but that's what's taking place right now. Now referee's back into the corner and we're ready to go. Blues with a 2-1 lead, maybe looking for a little insurance. Manning in behind the goal. Miller skates away, puts it up front, the shot. That didn't miss by much as Millett was there. And it might have got a little bit of St. Clair stick, but it didn't miss the post by much. 1:38 remains here, and the penalty here to Gutwald, who's off for body contact. McCarron there thought about shooting, but St. Clair got in the way of that shooting lane. So back to the outside they go here. Miller, and a deflection and out the other side, but Bresson had it well read. Miners still can't clear. Blues pressing once again, but this time second chance, it goes down. Clark there as well as Manning, and Clark the second best there in that one, but he does come up with the puck after a great second effort. Here's a 2-on-2. He has Pilling with him. Now goes wide, makes a 2-on-1 shot, and then Albert gets a piece of it with the blocker. Close call. 57 seconds remaining, a short-handed chance there for Clark. Pounds his chest, he goes off for a change. O'Neill comes in and takes his spot. So we have Pilling, O'Neill, Cameron, and McIsaac, the penalty killers here for the Miners. Crossing the line, Miller has Millett with him. Shot right on, and no rebound by Bresson. Past the halfway point, 7:23 remains. Period number 2 Millet, LeBlanc for the Blues, Pilling for the Miners, 2-1 where we stand. My name is Dan Hobson. This is the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships on 360 Live. And we're bringing it to you live stream, and we hope you are enjoying the action. Set down to the corner, LeBlanc there along the icing line. 20 seconds remaining in this Atlantic Acura power play for the Blues. Chandler has Buffett, decides to pass it down low to LeBlanc. Now they put it through the blue ice, just outside the blue ice, and out the other side. Mathers with a nice stick there to knock it down, and doesn't even take a high stick, knock down a high stick. So play continues on as the penalty to Gutwall is over. 0 for 4, so far Miners not paying for it in terms of specialty teams there. They still trail 2-1. Millet with a shot and no reaction from Brisson. He never saw it. Chandler now takes a little whack from O'Neill's shot and right along the ice. It didn't miss by much. Did the little crossover move, but unable to beat goaltender Brisson. It keeps it a 2-1 game as we come up to 6 to go here in period number 2. There's LeBlanc, he fans on it. Mathers keeps it in. Emmanuel eludes some pressure. Comes out front, there's a backhand and goal post by Jewett. Great work there by Emmanuel, and he was actually going to draw a penalty here. A tripping call as the Blues are taking it to the Miners here. Late stages of the second period, and they're forced to take penalties as Hutchings goes off. I know that probably Greg McDonald is still telling his troops to say, hey, you guys got to be careful. You know, they've had 4, now 5 called against them. Referees maybe going to try to maybe keep an eye, and you know that Brian O'Neill is a good experienced hockey coach there for the Miners, that he's going to probably start barking in the ear there of the referees and linesmen as they go up ice and maybe try to sell a call. 5 straight here against the Glace Bay Miners, and a 2-1 game. The Blues leading here in semifinal number 2. Sent down the ice, Gutwald. Mathers seeing a lot of playing time here in this semifinal number 2. A couple players go down. In the meantime, Millet will come up with the puck. Millet, wrist shot, stopped by Brisson. He gets a piece, gets a second chance. His glove hand is pretty good. He didn't field the first one cleanly, but the second one he did, and you give a goalie a second chance, he's going to come up most of the times with the save, and he did that time. Minute 14 remaining in the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Bedford Blues as Hutchings is off for the trip. 5 to go here in period number 2. Just think, all of a sudden this team here, we were thinking maybe we have a little bit of a disadvantage playing that second semifinal and then have to come back at 2:30, but the West Hants Warriors, they went to war with the Tassa Ducks. And they punched their ticket. And I imagine they've probably gone to get some grub and maybe possibly a quick nap. And that's going to have to be very quick to get ready for that final at 2:30 from the Halifax Forum. It's the Provincial Championships, PeeWee, AAA, and 360 Live here at the Championships. Gladly bringing this one to you. And we hope you are enjoying the live streams, not just today, but for the entire week since Thursday we've been here. Blues pressing again. Sangster had a chance at a big wide open cage. They did everything in the late stages of that power play. They're going to, of course, get 3 shots here as this will go down the ice. They're going to have to hurry if they're going to get a 4th shot on this power play, but it won't happen as Hutchings is out. As you hear the sound effect here in the Halifax Forum indicating that, so it still remains a 2-1 game. 0 for 4 Hutchings, or pardon me, McIntosh spinning and didn't miss by much. McIntosh must love playing the Blues. As I said, he's got a goal in this one and 2 yesterday. Matheson goes down, Pilling there, trying to come up with the loose puck, and does. Fans on trying to send it back to the point. Clark was calling for it. Still doesn't come to him. Great work here by Pilling and Cameron in behind the goal, and maybe a size mismatch for them. A little bit taller than some of those defenders there for the Blues, but they were winning that puck battle, so that's going to be something that Brian O'Neill's going to be happy about. Cameron fires wide in the lively boards, but Albert well outside. There's a shot that's actually in the equipment of Buffett. He's going for a little bit of a skate. It may be up in his shoulder pads. He may be wearing it. It's caught up in his equipment. Yes, it is. And now he's favoring himself as he probably got that right at the old collarbone, and that's leaving us smart as he goes off. Really kind of hope that it doesn't hit him in the throat. Already one of the coaching staff, I believe, is Peter McIsaac over there attending and looking at him. As I said, Matt Walbolt, Peter McIsaac, the assistant coaches here for the Bedford Blues. Greg McDonald, met him back at Trenton, and fantastic gentleman, and is very friendly. And, you know, sometimes your players, of course, match the personalities of their coach, and Greg McDonald is quite a personality. And he has been really accommodating and, you know, sense of humor. He knows that he's had provincial championships, but always smiling and always joking around in between games when his team's not playing. But he's all business when the puck drops. Back out center ice here. Miller and Millett get their numbers crossed. Here comes McIntosh trying to go wide on Walsh. McIntosh and Walsh. Man, oh man, you're going to have to give her a hard hat award, at least something. She has done one-on-one battles. A-OK, I say. Minute 53 till the intermission. Millett with the puck. Has Jewett with him. Can't hit the pass. Puck comes back to the blue line. Manning with the backhand. McIsaac in there, trying to win that battle against Miller. And they'll send it to the far side boards. Nearing can't get it out. Battle of 11s, and this time it will be Nearing comes up with the puck. And now here they are, sending 3 wide, led by Hutchings, Nearing. And Matheson couldn't knock that one down, and he's at the end of the shift. He's going to go for a change. Jewett trying to get in behind for a long lead pass. He sort of collides there with the minor player. Slow to get up, but gets to the bench and starts that change there. Here's Clark. Clark scores! Nice moves and patience. Clark ties it up. Just 5 seconds to the 1 minute mark remaining. 13:55. And that is a beauty of a goal. Had goals late in the first period. Millett got one here, 4:29. Clark late, 13:55, 2-2. They tied yesterday, and they're tied so far. Pilling now gets going. As I said, he had a goal yesterday in the game against the Blues. He goes down. Miners fans want to call. It's not coming as the arms of the officials stay down with 28 seconds remaining here in the period. Blues pressing here, late stages. LeBlanc, no look, pass back to McCarron, who fires it wide. St. Clair trying to pick up his stick and was unable to clear it out there for the Miners. Cameron now takes a couple of whacks and loses it. Here's Sangster now. 5 seconds left. Big, juicy rebound. Steered towards the boards. Blues will not get a shot on goal before the end of the period as the horn goes. Clark Pilling for Glace Bay. LeBlanc Millett for the Blues. 2-2 after the opening 30 minutes of play here at the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee AAA Hockey Championships on 360 Live And we've got a great third period coming up. We hope you join us for that third period. Third period coverage of the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWeeAAA Hockey Championships is brought to you by Cushman Wakefield. Just joining us here, getting close to noontime on the east coast of Canada. Hi everybody, Dan Hobson. Our producer and camera operator is Neil Gordon. The 360 Live crew at the Halifax Forum. And it has been an entertaining day, and it has really sort of like switched the page here on the way things have gone. We've had games that has been like quite a distance in terms of like a blowout versus close game, and we've had tight ones there, and we have one team that's already punched their ticket to the semi-final, and this is not going to make the Glace Bay Miners very happy. The door is open. They're going to be called for a delay of game here, and what a penalty to take at this juncture here, as Gutwell will go off for the delay of game. And I know that probably Brian O'Neill is not going to be too happy with that one. So another Atlantic Acura power play here, as it is power play number 6 for them. They're 0 for 5. And the Blues will settle it down here. Here's Miller now, wrist shot, and blocking that is Pilling as he gets in the way. Small stature, but got it in the way, using his body, sacrificing his body for the good of the cause. Wrist shot, Brisson, right on. Miller settling that puck down, will go for a skate. Drops it off to McCarron now. 1:07 left in this delay of game penalty as Miller comes back. Wrist shot. Blocked as there was 3 bodies right there in front, but the Miners still can't clear. LeBlanc trying to thread the eye of the needle there, inside there to Millett. Clark will have a chance to clear and can't, but here comes Pilling now, and he's got some speed. Short-handed chance, Pilling! And tripped down. No call, and the Miners fans are furious. The back official has his arm up in the air, so he will call it for the trip. And that will end the Atlantic Acura power play. They'll have 4 skaters aside, a trip there by Emmanuel. At first there was no call, and then the back official put his arm up in the air. One right there, close to the call, but this is how the sport has gone. The back official can actually see more and maybe have a little bit of a better angle on things. Shot, Albert stops that one and steers it towards the corner. 4-on-4 for the remaining 25 seconds, and then the Atlantic Acura power play will belong to the Glace Bay Miners, and it will be their first of the game, and aren't they thinking maybe this is a good chance here to, well, go ahead. They got the first goal of the game, drew first blood late in that first period. Pilling was dangerous once again. And really, when you look at it, fast forward to play about 5 or 7 seconds later, really was the one that sort of drawn that penalty. Emmanuel. And that gets outside the line. And here's St. Clair on his Jets. St. Clair, wrist shot. Albert. Oh, he's having difficulty hanging onto his feet. Keeping his feet on the ice here. And now it is the Atlantic Acura power play here for the Miners as Chandler's goes down. There's a net guard on the ice here, so either has to get off or go put it back on. And now the player will make his way to the bench as Matheson's on the drive. Centering pass, McIntosh picked off. McCarron gets in the way, finds the middle and sends it down. 53 seconds left in the Emmanuel tripping penalty, and Bresson almost got caught wandering, going for a Sunday morning skate, but Doesn't pay for it. McIntosh dropped to O'Neill. O'Neill wrist shot, blocker save. Albert left a big rebound to the Blue Eyes, scores! McIntosh! He had a good game yesterday. 2 goals versus the Blues, and he's got the go-ahead now. Power play goal. Power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura McIntosh. 2:45. 3-2. Let's go, says Greg McDonald. He says to the boys, no big deal, no frustration shown, just let's go. The net guard actually belonged to the Miners. Yes, they did. They took it over to the wrong bench, the linesman did, so they just wanted to get it out of harm's way. But McIntosh gets the goal on the power play. They get 1 power play, they cash it in, and now the Blues are thinking, what if? We've had chances there to, maybe have a strong lead, have a little bit of insurance, but they have been unable to cash in on the power play. Glace Bay Miners get abbreviated one, and McIntosh makes them pay. 2:45 the time. Fresh 5 here for the Blues. Hanrahan in on the draw against Chandler. Buffett will send it there along the far side boards. And now the Blues led by Chandler. Has LeBlanc with him. Chandler there in the backhand to LeBlanc. Runs out of room and just chips it wide of the net. Chip towards the net, and Bresson holds the line there for the Miners. Way to respond there by the Blues. Just come back, just as Greg McDonald says, let's go. And that's what they did. And they got something going. They almost resulted in getting that goal back quickly. 3 minutes and 20 seconds gone here in period number 3. Gorgeous day outside. If you're in the Halifax area, pop on by. Some great hockey, great atmosphere. And championship game is at 2:30. While we love to have people watching online, we love to have people here in the stands as well. It has been lots of fans, and it has been a great atmosphere here in this building, and you might as well come in and join that party if you can, if you're in the Halifax area. And if you can't and you love the action here on 360 Live, we're glad to bring it to you. St. Clair almost with the steal. Clark now does steal. Clark now trying to stick handle, but nice move by McCarron. In the meantime, I believe that is Sangster that's down. It's actually Chandler, my apologies. And diving to keep it in there, trying to keep it in was Cathcart, and he does. Successful work. Sacrificing the body once again. The Miners are. O'Neill looking for it now. Hutchings up there as well. But it's going to be the Blues, and here they are, led by LeBlanc. Trying to go wide on Cathcart. Cathcart pokes the stick towards the corner and takes it out of a high-scoring chance to a low-scoring chance, but it's picked off by Miller as he gets to the passing lane of that one. Miners are trying to go for the long lead pass, and Miller read it well. And he has it again. He's waiting for help. He's got a couple of new line mates. Jackson Bell. Rich left the slapper. That hits a leg and goes towards the corner. Pilling now. He's got a goal in this one. McIntosh to go ahead so far. Millett loses the handle. Back out center ice comes Pilling. Pilling, he splits. Pilling driving, going again. Well, he lost the puck. In the meantime, one of the players of the Blues will collide into the goalpost, and they'll check on him. It is Miller, and he's okay. But it looked a lot worse than it could have been, because sometimes there's no protection like in the rib area. Of course, you have your hockey pants, but sometimes that may not be enough protection, as it's, of course, the front of your body is what took the brunt of that blow to the post, but he's okay and taking that draw. As I say, it could have been a lot worse than what it was, but he's out there and on the drive once again, and he has the puck. Just like the Energizer Bunny, he keeps on going and going. Millett going and going, but couldn't pull the trigger. They have been dangerous all weekend, and maybe a little bit snake bitten here in this one, and that has been the Miller and Millett line. Of course, Millett has the Bedford goal as well as LeBlanc. Miller tried to get it through McIsaac. In the process, allowed the Miners to get it out to center ice area. Here comes McCarron. Goes wide on St. Clair. Can't pull the trigger. McCarron once again forced to the near side boards and in behind the goal. Miller again. Back to Walsh here along the blue line. Goes cross ice. McCarron wrist shot. That doesn't get through. Perrier. Fans on the shot. It's caught up in a couple of players just outside the blue ice. McIsaac will get it out there just outside the line. And now Clark comes with a burst of speed the other way for the Miners. McCarron and Walsh, the two defense pairing there for the Blues. And now in transition, Amiro all by himself on a 1-on-3. And a nice stick by Gottwald pokes it in behind the goal before he can get a shot. Great defensive play, both ends by the teams here. With 8:10 remaining in period number 3. Jewett comes in there, and I think he's going to either be called for interference or body contact, and we'll call it a trip. Either way, he's going to the box. This power play brought to you by Atlantic Acura as Jewett will go off for the trip. 6:55 the time. Goal here by the Miners will give them some insurance. Blues have to really kill this off if they hope here to try to tie this game up and maybe even go ahead. So this is a key juncture. Long way to get to that story, Dan, but that is what's going on. With what is up here. A big moment here in this hockey game here from the Halifax Forum. Miners kept well, but they're sort of collapsing, but they can't pull the trigger on a shot. There's a shot there by Gottwald, and Albert gets a piece, and he had good rebound controls. He got it to the corner. He didn't leave anything like loose garbage out front. O'Neill, wrist shot. Albert right on. He had a rebound momentarily. Gottwald there. That doesn't get through as the Blues player block it. Scores McIntosh as Perrier is hurt and down, and it really hurt the Blues in trying to get the puck out. McIntosh with his second. It comes on the power play at 7:50. Power plays brought to you by Atlantic Acura. It's 4-2. Now the Blues really have some work cut out for them, defending champions of this event. The silver medalists from the Atlantics last year in Edmundston are 6:54 away from seeing their season come to an end as Albert makes that stop, but it is not quite the heavy turnover that the Tossa Ducks have for this Bedford Blues. The Ducks losing 16 of their 17 players. It's only about maybe 4 or 5 moving on after the end here, so they just keep coming back year after year, and Greg McDonald looking at the clock and maybe a little bit of a shocked look on his face as they drop the puck there on the far side. McIsaac there couldn't get it, and now you know that the Blues are probably going to maybe see some of the defensemen join that rush as the Miners were coming close, and the puck will blow by. Now the Blues regroup. And they've got some work cut out for them. Down by 2. Sangster, Emmanuel LeBlanc, the forward line here. Cathcart will send it here to the near side boards, trying to clear for the Miners. Blues keep it inside. Emmanuel, that's blocked, hits nearing stick. Manning holds the line. There's a shot. Scores! A little bit of a waster, and that went off the neck of Bresson. And that's the first worry that the Miners have, but it's McCarron with a waster, and it's 4-3. $8:54 the time. Goals coming quite quickly. 4-3 where we stand. Just what the doctor ordered here for the Blues, and now all of a sudden, 1-goal game. Now the Miners might have to be a little bit more careful. Even strength right now. 5 skaters here as we're into the late stages here of period number 3. 5:39 remaining, 4-3 to score. Miners leading the Blues here at semifinal number 2. And awaiting the winner, the West Hants Warriors. Just last weekend, the Major Bantam Provincial Championships, and for the first time we had back-to-back champions, the Gulls. Blues were maybe hoping here to go back-to-back, but they've got some work cut out. They're trailing by 1. But they've got some firepower to do it. Miller, Chandler, Perrier, and Millett. So it's not done yet. But boy, they're going to have to start really getting some offense going here, and they're going to have to do it quickly. Pilling there going up for a loose puck. Here's O'Meara there trying to chip, and he will get it outside. It was a really smart defensive play there by Cameron as he backed up. He doesn't really want to give up any odd man rushes, so he took the safe play as opposed to the play which would really might want to do and try to keep it in. Dumped in, fresh change here for the Miners. Miller cuts the line, goes down on a knee and into the corner. Solid defensive play here by the Miners as Cameron has a little bit of open ice. Goes rink wide with a pass, a little bit too far the reach of everyone, and sent back in there by the Bedford Blues. 4:17 remaining, third period. Cameron, you can see he's quite a tall drink of water there for the Miners. That really helps in terms of puck battles. As big of a puck battle won by the Miners, and now they'll send 3 wide. Led by Hutchings. Here's Nearing in hand shot. Albert steering it to the netting, which causes a stoppage in play. $3:56 remain in this game. Greg McDonald had a quick word with the official. Clark and Emmanuel on the draw, and it's Clark for the Miners. Time starting to be a little bit of a factor here for the Blues. They were trailing by 2 at one point. They've brought it down to a 1-goal game thanks to McCarron. Sharp angle that hit the mask of Bresson, and he felt a little bit of a stinger, but he seems to be okay. It's probably going to take almost like he doesn't really want to leave this game. It's probably going to take something really drastic for him to leave. Been one of the better goaltenders here at the championships, and he knows how to show that glove. It's been one of the things that have helped them here at the championships as we come up to 3 to go here. And the Miners once again with Rory Pilling with the puck. McIntosh, who's got 2, says, hey, faced the Blues a couple of times. I'll get a couple of goals both games. Now looking for number 3, trying to bank it in along the post against Albert, but Albert stands tall once again there for the Bedford Blues. In the corner. Miller actually evacuates there. Millet was up there for the Blues, and now once again LeBlanc, long late pass. Miller gets in behind the D. Miller on Bresson. Miller stopped by Bresson. Could be your highlight, but we'll have to wait and see. Millet there trying to feather it through, trying to get LeBlanc for the tip in. But a big one there by Bresson as he shut the door. Wrap around Miller. Bouncing pockets in. Miners were fighting, trying to keep it out, but can't. Cardiac Kids. Cone Miller ties it at 4. 12:47. Yesterday they played in the round robin. 4-4 was the final. 4-4 is where it is now. 2 minutes away from regulation. We expected it to be close, and it is. Clark now hoping maybe to try to get one here in the late stages. And if you're just joining us, the overtime format is a 5-minute 5-on-5 and then a 5-minute 4-on-4 if that doesn't determine anything. And then a shooter as they try to set up Millet there. Scores! Millet! Chandler to be precise. And I'm not sure if our cameras caught it, but the official was preventing really any mocking. He blocked the path there. 5-4, what a turn of events. A 2-goal lead is down the drain, and now it's catch-up time here for the Miners. Timeout called. Take a breather, folks, because we're going to be in for a dandy of a minute and 33. Third period, late stages, and a turn of events. Miners had a 2-goal lead. Blues got back and they tied it, and then they just went ahead here. And we are in for a dandy of a finish here, and shock starting to go through the building. McIntosh will set it in, but that's offside. And you know Bresson is thinking about going to the bench. He was actually a few feet out, and now they'll bring it back outside the line. And let's see if McDonald will call his timeout. A few minutes ago, McDonald wasn't smiling. The head coach now, he seems to be showing some chiclets here. Blues win the draw and send it down. And now, Blues are just trying to keep it from going. Of course, it's now back into the zone as Bresson will go to the bench. So there's the extra tracker. They were trying to keep it in the neutral ice area as the puck goes out. 39 seconds remains here. 6 skaters for the Miners. Miller. LeBlanc has a chance to backhand just outside the line. Gottwald will send it into Albert. He's well outside the blue ice, and he'll hold on. And that will at least get them to change their troops for the Blues. Player of the game presentation coming up. It's brought to you by Dexter Construction, and it will be at the end of this hockey game after the team's handshake at center ice. And the Blues will now call their timeout. And McDonald has the board in his hand. What do you say if you're Brian O'Neill to your Miners team? You had the lead and you were looking pretty comfortable there, but the Blues started turning it on offensively, and the champions from last year are 23 seconds away from having a chance to defend their championship against the West Hatch Warriors. And it's going to get noisy here, folks, just to let you know. It has during this playoff Sunday, and it's getting noisy once again. 23 seconds. Last call at the bar here for the Glace Bay Miners. Blues have it. It actually hits one of the Miners players, so it stays in, but not for long. But here's a chance. Miller, and he's got an open path to the net, and he'll put this one on ice. He gets the go-ahead goal and gets the insurance empty netter. 14:53. .230 will have the championship game. West Hatch Warriors, Bedford Blues. Miners run out of gas here late stages of the third period. And the Blues pull the unthinkable, being down by 2. And then score the last 3 to win 6-4. Brisson gets a moment there from St. Clair, and the Blues handshake with the Mariners at center ice. So the Blues have a chance now as the field, which began with 7 on Thursday, is now down to 2. Blues, Warriors, championship, 2:30. 360 Live will have that one. Disappointment here for the Miners and for the Blues. It was looking bleak for them. But the 11th hour, a hero emerged. Cohen Miller with the go-ahead and the insurance goal. And McCarron helped as well. 6-4. Miners, of course, they've had some difficulties here at championships, and they've been on the odd end of blowouts. And this year, they were one of the tougher teams. Anytime teams had to play them here at championships, they were in for a battle. Player of the game presentation brought to you by Dexter Construction. Garrett McIntosh with a couple of goals. He had a couple of goals yesterday, but just unable to put away the Blues there, and he'll get the player of the game for the Miners. That's not a surprise. Cohen Miller, as I said earlier in our previous broadcast, special players make special plays on special days. As the Bedford Blues acknowledge their fans and family there as the sticks go up in the air as they go to their dressing room. And they will have a quick turnaround. 2:30 this afternoon will come pretty quick. A chance to win back-to-back championships for them at the PeeWee level. They'll take on the West Hatch Warriors. So that's the story here, semifinal number 2. We hope you can join us for the final. For the entire crew here at the Halifax Forum. My name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for watching the 2019 Nova Scotia PeeWee Provincial Hockey Championships on 360 Live.